The blackness of space stretched endlessly, dotted with distant stars that seemed frozen in their eternal dance. Somewhere at the edge of the Andromeda frontier, the Dominion of Xyrath patrolled their borders, confident in the strength of their fleet. Ships of every size glided through the void, sleek and metallic, bristling with weapons designed to strike fear into any intruder. The Dominion had controlled these systems for decades. No enemy had dared to challenge them here, until now. A sharp alarm echoed through the bridge of the Xyrath command cruiser Veilnok. Officers snapped to attention, their many eyes reflecting the warning lights that flashed across the wide control panels. The main screen flickered, displaying an object emerging from hyperspace, a massive warship unlike anything the Dominion had cataloged. It was human. The word was whispered across the bridge in a mixture of awe and fear. Even seasoned officers felt their pulse quicken. The ship was enormous, dwarfing several of their own cruisers combined. Its design was simple, almost crude compared to the sleek curvature of Xyrath vessels, but its hull shimmered with energy shields that no alien weapon had ever breached. And yet there was something more unnerving than its size or its shields. There was purpose in its movement, a calm, deliberate authority that screamed confidence. "Identify it," the admiral commanded, his voice cold and sharp, cutting through the tension like a laser beam. Sensors scanned the vessel. The data flowed in streams across every display, analyzed by the ship's most advanced computers. But the readings were puzzling. The warship was armed heavily, yet it moved with the speed of a scout. Its engines emitted energy signatures that were unfamiliar, impossible to categorize. The admiral's antennae twitched involuntarily, a sign of nervousness he barely managed to hide. "Unknown human warship," the lead officer reported. "Hull integrity exceeds Dominion standards. Weapon capacity extreme, but engines faster than anything we have. And sir, its approach is unusual." The admiral narrowed his eyes. "Unusual how?" "It is not following standard flight patterns. It moves like it is aware of our sensors. Every maneuver seems calculated to avoid detection, yet it closes the gap between us at high speed." A murmur ran through the bridge. Unpredictable behavior was one of the deadliest traits an enemy could have. The Dominion prided themselves on anticipating every move, calculating every battle down to the last strike. But humans were not predictable. Far from the Dominion fleet, the human warship Resolute sailed through the void with serene precision. Its captain, Admiral Kara Thorne, stood on the bridge, hands clasped behind her back, eyes focused on the endless black ahead. The crew moved around her with disciplined efficiency, monitoring systems, adjusting shields, and preparing weapons. Every sensor, every console, every control panel vibrated with readiness. "Status report," she said, her voice calm but firm. "All systems nominal, Admiral," replied Commander Elias Vance, her second-in-command. "Shields at full, weapons online. Enemy fleet detected near the outer rim, but sensors show they have not locked on to us yet." Kara nodded. She did not need confirmation. She had seen enough to know that the Dominion believed they were untouchable. They had grown arrogant over centuries of conquest, counting on fear and sheer numbers to control the frontier. They had never faced humans before, at least not in force, and that would be their mistake. "Set course for the outer system," Kara ordered. "We will give them a reason to remember humanity." Back aboard the Veilnok, the Dominion officers struggled to interpret what they were witnessing. The warship had vanished from their sensors. One moment it had been in full view, and the next it was gone, seemingly folded into the void itself. How is this possible?" one officer stammered, panic creeping into his voice. "Our sensors," the admiral's claws snapped down on the console. "Silence. This is no ordinary ship, no ordinary species. They are testing us, probing us, and we will respond with force." The Dominion fleet shifted into formation, energy weapons powering up, shields humming with tension. A message was sent across the fleet: prepare for engagement. Do not underestimate them. But even as the orders were followed, fear lingered. The unknown was never comforting, and these humans were unlike anything they had ever faced. The Resolute had no intention of showing itself. Kara smiled faintly as she watched the Dominion fleet through the ship's long-range sensors. Their ships were numerous, heavily armed, and well-coordinated. But humans had something the Dominion could never fully anticipate: creativity, adaptability, courage. And most importantly, the willingness to take risks that others would consider suicidal. Prepare the cloaking maneuver, she said quietly. We are going to dance among them for a while. Cloaking ready, Admiral, Vance confirmed. But the energy output required, it will drain auxiliary systems. Do it anyway, Kara replied. Sometimes the enemy's fear is the strongest weapon we have. Within moments, the human warship shimmered and became nearly invisible, slipping silently past patrol ships that scanned the sector endlessly but found nothing. The Dominion vessels were moving, reacting to nothing, and in their confusion, Kara's ship continued its calculated advance. Inside the Dominion Council chambers, the Admiral's second-in-command argued passionately. Sir, we cannot allow this. They could be anywhere. We must strike first. The Admiral waved his clawed hand dismissively. Strike first and we reveal our weakness. Let them come to us. Let them show their hand. Then we crush them. But we do not understand their technology, their weapons. They are human, the Admiral interrupted. They will make mistakes, and when they do, we will be waiting. The humans, meanwhile, had reached the edge of the system's asteroid belt. Kara studied the formation carefully, noting every patrol route, every likely ambush point. She had no intention of attacking yet. Observation and preparation were as much a weapon as plasma cannons or missile volleys. Commander, she said, her gaze fixed on the blinking holographic map, do you see how predictable they are? Every ship follows the same routine, every sensor sweeps in the same pattern. They believe order is the ultimate power. That is where they are weak. Vance nodded. We could bypass their outer fleet entirely, but, Kara asked, tilting her head. But the closer we get, the more dangerous it becomes. Their capital ships are near the inner system. One mistake and we could be trapped. Kara's lips curved into a small smile. That is why we do not make mistakes, Commander, and if they do, we strike. Not as a storm, but as a scalpel. Precision, not chaos. Humans do not rely on luck. We rely on choice. Back with the Dominion fleet, tension had reached a near breaking point. Officers argued over what they were seeing or not seeing. Entire squads were deployed to sweep the sector, but the humans had already moved beyond their reach. Communications flickered as reports came in. The intruder was here, then gone, then perhaps here again. Panic mingled with frustration. Admiral, one young officer said nervously, we may be facing an enemy unlike any before. Their movements, they defy logic. The Admiral's eyes glinted, reflecting the cold light of distant stars. Good, he said. Let them defy us. Let them feel the edge of our wrath. But know this, they will not escape us forever. And somewhere in the darkness, the human warship slipped silently past the outer patrols, carrying with it the quiet confidence of a species that had survived impossible odds, fought unimaginable enemies, and would not be underestimated. As the Dominion fleet scrambled, the Resolute coasted into the shadows of the asteroid belt, invisible to every sensor. Kara looked at the swirling mass of rocks ahead. Each one was a potential threat, a potential shield, and a potential advantage. She turned to Vance. Get ready, she said. The game has begun, and war just got deadlier. The stars outside seemed to hold their breath. Somewhere in the void, the first chapter of a deadly clash between humanity and the Dominion of Xyrath had already begun. The asteroid belt stretched like a frozen river through the void, jagged rocks tumbling silently in the endless black. The human warship Resolute slid between the massive boulders, nearly invisible, shields shimmering faintly as they deflected stray debris. Inside, Admiral Kara Thorne stood on the bridge, eyes scanning every sensor feed. She knew the Dominion fleet would be searching for them, but she also knew that humans had an advantage they could exploit: imagination. "Admiral," Commander Vance said, pointing at the tactical display, "the outer patrols are searching Sector 12. We're clear for now, but they'll widen their sweep soon." "Good," Kara said softly. "Let them waste their time. We'll choose the battlefield when we strike." Despite the calm, tension ran through the crew. This was no simple reconnaissance mission. The Dominion fleet was vast, organized, and deadly. Every decision carried weight. One misstep, one miscalculation, and the Resolute could be reduced to floating wreckage. Far above, the Dominion flagship Veilnock scanned the belt endlessly. Its captain, Admiral Clear, a towering figure with four segmented eyes, barked orders at his subordinates. "Spread out. Cover the entire belt. Sensors do not fail. We will find the humans and we will destroy them." "Sir, the intruder's movement is unusual," said a young officer nervously. "It slips between sensor sweeps. It seems to know our patrol patterns." Clear's antennae twitched in irritation. "Humans, they think they are clever. Let them be clever. They will meet our fire soon enough." The Dominion fleet was confident, but arrogance can blind a species. They had never fought humans before. They did not understand that humans could turn chaos into advantage and uncertainty into strategy. The Resolute drifted silently to the heart of the asteroid belt. Kara studied the tactical map. Each rock could shield her ship or hide a Dominion mine. She turned to Vance. "Prepare the strike teams," she said. "We'll use the asteroids to get inside their formation. One surprise attack and we can disable their weapons before they even know what hit them." "Admiral, it's risky," Vance warned. "They outnumber us 10 to 1. Any direct engagement, we could be overwhelmed." Kara's eyes narrowed. "We are humans, Commander. We survive because we take risks others won't. We are unpredictable, and that is exactly why we will win." The first contact came without warning. A Dominion patrol cruiser emerged from behind a massive asteroid, weapons flashing as it attempted to intercept the humans. But the Resolute had anticipated this. It darted through a narrow tunnel of floating rocks, its hull hugging shadows, shields flickering as it deflected debris. The patrol cruiser fired blindly, energy beams slicing past asteroids, missing by meters. "Return fire," Kara ordered. "Target the engines." A volley of precise plasma shots struck the cruiser's propulsion units. The ship groaned, its trajectory spiraling into an asteroid. The patrol vessel erupted in a bright explosion, fragments tumbling into the void. On the bridge, the crew let out a quiet cheer. Kara allowed herself a small smile. This was not chaos, it was controlled precision, human ingenuity at its best. The Dominion flagship reacted quickly. "Deploy the fleet," Admiral Clear ordered. "Do not let them escape. Intercept and destroy the humans." Vessels moved into formation, lasers and missiles primed. The humans were outnumbered, but Kara was not afraid. She had studied their fleet, understood its weaknesses, and now she would exploit them. "Divert power to shields and maneuvering thrusters," she instructed. "We will draw them into the asteroid belt. Let them chase shadows." As the Dominion ships entered the belt, they found their sensors useless. Every asteroid masked movements, every rock could hide a human ship, every sudden turn became a trap. The humans struck from the shadows, hitting weak points in the alien formation, then vanishing before the Dominion could respond. "Target their command ships," Clear ordered. "Crush them before they can escape." But the humans were always one step ahead. Strike teams launched from the Resolute, small assault craft designed for stealth. They moved silently among the asteroids, detonating charges on enemy weapons arrays and sabotaging systems. Dominion vessels exploded or fell into collisions. unable to comprehend the sudden, surgical attacks. Inside the Dominion command bridge, panic began to rise. Officers shouted over each other, trying to coordinate the fleet, but every attempt failed. The humans were not fighting like a conventional army. They fought like predators, striking, disappearing, and striking again. "Admiral," one officer cried, "our ships, they are losing cohesion." Clear's segmented eyes widened. "Impossible. Humans cannot be so precise." Yet they are everywhere and nowhere. Meanwhile, aboard the Resolute, Kara observed the chaos unfolding. "Good," she muttered. "Every move they make reveals their weakness. Watch closely, Commander. Their arrogance is showing. They believe order will protect them, but it blinds them instead." Hours passed. The asteroid belt became a deadly game of cat and mouse. Dominion ships struggled to maintain formation, while the humans exploited every angle, every crevice, every shadow. For every cruiser the Dominion launched, the Resolute had a countermeasure. For every laser volley, humans had a maneuver that minimized risk and maximized damage. "Admiral," Vance said, "the enemy is regrouping. They are launching a coordinated attack. If they succeed, we could be surrounded." Kara's gaze remained steady. "Then we will turn their attack against them. Prepare for the main strike." She ordered all auxiliary systems diverted to the main cannons. The Resolute would not just defend, it would strike at the heart of the Dominion fleet. The decisive moment arrived near the largest asteroid in the belt. The Dominion's capital ships moved forward, assuming they had trapped the humans. They had not counted on human cunning. Kara activated a series of decoy drones, small metallic spheres that projected false energy signatures. The Dominion fleet fired wildly at the decoys, wasting precious ammunition and revealing their positions. "Now!" Kara shouted. The Resolute surged forward, shields glowing brightly, energy beams targeting the central command ships. Strike teams hit the flanks, sabotaging engines and weapons. Explosions lit the void like artificial stars. The Dominion fleet faltered, stunned by the sudden, overwhelming precision of the human attack. Even with their numbers, the aliens could not anticipate every strike, every maneuver. Panic rippled through their ranks. Ships collided with each other, some tumbling into the asteroid belt, others exploding in brilliant, terrifying flashes. Admiral Clear watched helplessly as his fleet crumbled. He had never faced an enemy so unpredictable, so relentless. "They are not like any species we have encountered," he shouted, fury and fear mixing in his voice. "Concentrate fire, do not let them escape." But it was too late. The humans had already withdrawn, weaving through the asteroids with skill and grace. They were gone before the Dominion could react, leaving destruction in their wake and a chilling message. Humanity was here, and they were deadly. In the calm after the storm, the crew of the Resolute took stock. Systems were damaged and minor casualties occurred, but the ship remained intact. The Dominion fleet was still out there, but for the first time, humans had struck fear into their hearts. "Damage report," Kara commanded. "All minor, Admiral." "Weapons offline only for 10% of capacity. Shields sustained no critical hits," Vance reported. Kara nodded. "Good, we've made our point, but they will respond. And next time they will bring more ships, bigger weapons. We need to be ready." The crew shared quiet nods. They understood the stakes. They had shown the Dominion what humans were capable of, but they also knew that the real challenge was yet to come. Far across the void, the Dominion fleet regrouped. Ships limped back to repair stations, while others hovered in orbit, damaged but operational. Clear's eyes burned with a mixture of anger and respect. "Humans," he hissed, "they are clever, fearless, but next time we will crush them." Somewhere aboard the Resolute, Kara Thorne looked at the stars beyond the asteroid belt. Her expression was calm, yet fierce. "They will learn quickly," she said softly. "Humans fight differently. We adapt, we survive, and we strike back harder." The galaxy seemed to hold its breath. Somewhere in the distance, A new chapter of conflict had begun. And one thing was certain, war had just become far deadlier. The remnants of the Dominion fleet limped through space, leaving a trail of smoke and debris behind them. The asteroid belt, once a chaotic battlefield, now glimmered with scattered fragments of destroyed ships. But the humans were not celebrating. A calm hung over the bridge of the Resolute, though tension gnawed at every officer. They had won the skirmish, but they knew the Dominion would return, and next time with something far deadlier. Admiral Kara Thorne stood at the front of the bridge, hands clasped behind her back, her gaze fixed on the tactical display. Each blip represented a Dominion vessel, some retreating, others maneuvering to regroup. The humans had struck fear into their enemies, but fear alone would not win this war. Preparation, strategy, and courage would. "Commander Vance," Kara said, turning toward him, "status report on our damage and supplies." "All minor damage, Admiral. Hull integrity at 92%, shields at 88, weapons fully operational. However, our energy reserves are at 55% due to the extended cloaking and maneuvering during the battle," Vance reported. Kara nodded. "Good. Prepare emergency energy protocols. We'll need every system at full capacity if the Dominion returns with their superweapon." Far from the human ship, the Dominion fleet had reached a distant repair station. Admiral Clear convened a council with his most trusted officers. The battle had revealed a frightening truth. Humans were not only fearless, but they were also intelligent and unpredictable. Their small warship had devastated a fleet 10 times its size using speed, cunning, and precise strikes. "They are not like other species," Clear growled, his segmented eyes flicking over the holographic maps. "We cannot rely on numbers or technology alone. They think, they adapt, and worst of all, they survive." An officer spoke hesitantly. "Sir, we have a new weapon under development. Its power, it could destroy the human warship in seconds. But it is untested, unstable. It could also destroy our own ships if misused." Clear's antennae twitched. "Unstable or not, it is the only option. We will crush these humans before they reach the inner systems. Prepare the superweapon. Send a squadron to intercept the Resolute. They will not escape this time." Back aboard the Resolute, Kara sensed the shift in the Dominion's tactics before it happened. Her sensors picked up subtle energy fluctuations, distortions in space that suggested a massive weapon was being deployed. She frowned. The humans had faced many challenges, but the Dominion's superweapon could change the game entirely. "Commander, plot a course to the outer rim." "We need distance to analyze this new threat," Kara ordered. Vance frowned, studying the readouts. "Admiral, the superweapon is massive. Its energy signature, it's unlike anything we've seen. If it fires, it could annihilate an entire asteroid field or worse us." Kara's eyes narrowed. "Then we will make sure it doesn't fire. Prepare the strike teams. We will take the fight to them." The Resolute moved with silent precision, weaving through the debris of the asteroid belt. The ship's small size relative to the Dominion capital ships was an advantage. It could dodge, hide, and strike in ways the aliens could not anticipate. Kara ordered the deployment of small assault craft. These nimble vessels were designed for infiltration and sabotage. Each carried a team of highly trained soldiers, equipped with advanced tools to disable enemy systems. "Your mission is clear," Kara briefed the teams. "We cannot destroy the superweapon from range. It is too heavily shielded. You will board the Dominion command ship, locate the weapon controls, and disable it from inside. Timing is critical. One mistake, and the entire system could collapse." The teams nodded, their expressions calm yet determined. Humans did not hesitate in the face of danger. They adapted, they calculated, and they struck with precision. Meanwhile, the Dominion fleet had detected the human warship. Their superweapon glowed with an ominous light, suspended above a massive command vessel. Energy readings spiked as the weapon powered up. It was capable of obliterating entire fleets with a single blast. The Dominion believed this would be the end of humanity's intrusion into their territory, but the humans had other plans. As the Dominion vessels prepared to fire, the Resolute launched its strike teams. The assault craft zipped through enemy fire, cloaked in the shadows of the massive ships. Lasers and missiles flared past them, but the teams moved with unerring precision. Each pilot knew their path, each soldier knew their target. Inside the Dominion command ship, alarms blared. Intruders detected in the weapons bay. An officer screamed. Engineers scrambled to defend the superweapon, but the humans were already inside. Kara watched from the Resolute, tension coiling in her chest. She knew the outcome depended on the strike teams. Every second mattered. "Keep communications open with the teams," she ordered. "Guide them if necessary, but do not interfere unless required. Their success is our survival." The assault teams advanced through the labyrinthine corridors of the Dominion ship. They faced automated defenses, energy barriers, and alien guards, but they moved with efficiency and precision. Explosions rocked the ship as charges disabled turrets and sabotage devices cut through power conduits. One team reached the central control room. The superweapon loomed before them, glowing with energy. The control panel was complex alien technology that defied comprehension at first glance, but human ingenuity thrived in impossible situations. Lieutenant Mara Voss stepped forward, fingers flying across the interface. "It's unstable," she whispered. "If we miscalculate, it could detonate. But I think we can reroute the energy to the containment fields, neutralizing the weapon." The team worked in tense silence, every second stretching like hours. Outside, Dominion reinforcements approached, sensing intruders. Explosions shook the corridors, alarms screamed, but the humans remained focused. On the Resolute, Kara felt the tension rise. Every sensor spike, every energy reading, told her the assault teams were close, but they were also in danger. "Hold your positions," she instructed the crew. "Do not engage unless necessary. Their success is all that matters." Minutes passed like hours. Then, finally, the energy readings on the superweapon began to drop. Lieutenant Voss's voice came through the comms, breathless but triumphant. "Admiral, the superweapon is offline. We've neutralized it." A wave of relief swept through the Resolute bridge. Kara allowed herself a small smile. Humanity had survived against overwhelming odds, and they had done it not through brute force, but through strategy, courage, and teamwork. But the victory was not without cost. The Dominion had detected the intruders. Reinforcements closed in rapidly, faster than the human ship could evade. The Resolute was now surrounded, outnumbered at least 10 to 1. Kara's calm expression hardened. "Prepare for full engagement," she said. "We've neutralized their weapon, but now we face the fleet itself. Every system online, every crew member ready. This is our fight and we will not back down." Vance studied the tactical display, concern etched on his face. "Admiral, they're closing in. If we engage directly, we could lose the ship." Kara shook her head. "We will not engage directly. We will fight smart. We will use the asteroids, the debris, our speed. They rely on numbers and technology. They do not understand humans. That is our advantage." The Resolute moved like a ghost through the debris, weaving between shattered Dominion vessels. Lasers and missiles streaked past, narrowly missing the hull. The ship fired precise bursts at key targets, disabling engines, cutting power, and creating chaos among the enemy ranks. The Dominion fleet struggled to maintain formation. Their superweapon was gone, and their confidence faltered. For the first time, they realized that humans were not predictable, not weak, and not easily defeated. Every strike, every maneuver from the Resolute reminded them of this terrifying truth. On the human bridge, Kara's calm focus inspired her crew. "Keep pushing," she said. "They will falter. They always do when faced with determination and courage." The battle raged through the asteroid belt. The humans struck from shadows, dodged, weaved, and vanished before the aliens could respond. Slowly, Dominion ships began to retreat, damaged and demoralized. Kara allowed herself a rare moment of pride. Humanity had survived, had outsmarted a technologically superior enemy, and had shown that ingenuity and courage could overcome overwhelming odds. But the war was far from over. The Dominion would return, stronger, more prepared, and more determined to crush humanity. Kara turned to Vance, eyes fierce. "We've won today, but tomorrow we prepare. We are human, we survive, we fight. And when they come again, they will find a species they cannot control, cannot predict, and cannot defeat." The stars beyond the asteroid belt sparkled coldly, distant witnesses to the battle. Somewhere in the void, the Dominion fleet limped away, their pride shattered but their threat still alive. The humans of the Resolute had survived, but they knew the next encounter would be deadlier. And they would be ready. The void of space stretched endlessly, filled with drifting debris from the previous battles. The Resolute moved through the wreckage like a predator stalking its prey, silent but deadly. Its crew had survived impossible odds, disabled the Dominion superweapon, and outmaneuvered fleets far larger than their own. Yet, Admiral Kara Thorne knew this was only the beginning. The Dominion would not forgive defeat. They would return stronger and more determined than ever. "Admiral," Commander Vance reported, "scouts show the Dominion regrouping near the inner system. Estimates: 15 capital ships, support vessels, and reinforcements. They are repairing and rearming. Their intent is clear, they want to finish what they started." Kara's eyes narrowed. "Let them come," she said calmly. "We've given them a taste of what humanity can do. Now we make them understand that war is no longer predictable, and humans are not to be underestimated." The crew exchanged glances, a mixture of determination and anticipation. Every human aboard the Resolute understood what was at stake. This was no longer a fight for survival, it was a declaration. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage, and they would fight to defend their right to exist. In the Dominion fleet, Admiral Clear seethed. His eyes flicked over the tactical maps, showing the scars humanity had inflicted. "They are clever," he growled, "but cleverness alone will not save them. We have numbers, we have power, we have the will to destroy them." Yet even as he spoke, doubt crept into the minds of his officers. How could a single warship, a human vessel, repeatedly evade and destroy their best forces? How could such a small crew sow chaos among ships far larger and more advanced? Fear, once dormant, now whispered its icy warning. Clear shook his head. No hesitation, no mercy, crush them. The humans prepared their counterattack. Kara gathered her bridge crew for final instructions. "We know their numbers, we know their tactics, but they do not know us. They do not understand that humans fight differently. We strike where they least expect, adapt faster than they can react, and endure more than they anticipate." Vance added, "Our weapons are ready, shields reinforced. Strike teams are in position. We have limited resources, but we can use the debris field to our advantage. Every asteroid, every fragment is a potential weapon or shield." "Exactly," Kara said. "This is our battlefield. We will dictate the terms. The Dominion fights with arrogance. We fight with intelligence. Precision, courage, and humanity. They will learn the hard way." The Dominion fleet emerged from warp near the inner system. Their capital ships gleamed ominously, energy weapons ready, engines burning with power. Their approach was aggressive, confident, and terrifying. They believed the humans would flee, that fear would guide them into submission. They were wrong. Kara ordered the Resolute to advance into the asteroid field, weaving between massive rocks and debris. The Dominion fleet followed, expecting an easy prey. But the humans had prepared traps and ambush points. Laser turrets were camouflaged among asteroids, decoy drones simulated multiple ships, and hidden strike teams awaited the perfect moment. As the Dominion ships closed in, the humans unleashed their first salvo. Energy beams cut through key enemy vessels, disabling engines and causing collisions. The Dominion fleet faltered, stunned by the sudden, precise attack. Kara's strategy was working. Their arrogance blinded them to the danger lurking in every shadow. Small human assault craft darted among the capital ships. Teams boarded enemy vessels, sabotaging weapons and systems. Explosions ripped through hulls, and Dominion crews panicked. Ships collided with one another, creating a chaotic barrier that slowed reinforcements. Kara watched calmly, guiding the battle with precise commands. Every human movement was calculated, every strike deliberate. "Commander," Kara said, "target their command ships. We need to break their coordination. Strike with everything we've got." Vance nodded, transmitting orders to strike teams. Plasma cannons flared, missile volleys detonated, and Dominion communications began to falter. Ships that once seemed unstoppable were now disorganized, vulnerable, and terrified. Humanity's ingenuity and courage had turned the tide. Admiral Clear realized the battle was slipping from his control. He roared orders, but his fleet was already fractured. "Concentrate fire. Do not let the humans escape," he demanded. But every maneuver was countered, every formation disrupted. The Resolute moved like a ghost, striking with precision and vanishing before retaliation could occur. "Admiral," an officer warned, "our losses are severe. Ships destroyed, systems failing. They are unstoppable." Clear's segmented eyes narrowed. "Impossible," he hissed. "They are humans, they cannot be this effective. Yet they are." The humans pressed the advantage. Kara ordered the deployment of the final strike team. Their mission: board the Dominion flagship and disable its engines. If the capital ship fell, the fleet would crumble. The assault craft raced through debris and enemy fire, dodging energy beams and missiles. They boarded the Dominion flagship with skill and precision, moving silently through the corridors. The human soldiers planted charges, sabotaged control panels, and systematically disabled critical systems. Dominion crews tried to resist, but humans were relentless, adapting to every obstacle. Inside the flagship, Lieutenant Mara Voss led the team. "Engines offline in 30 seconds, she reported through comms. "Prepare for detonation if necessary." "Do it," Kara replied calmly. "Ensure maximum effect." A series of controlled explosions rocked the Dominion flagship. Engines failed, and the massive vessel drifted helplessly into the asteroid field. Collisions and chain reactions tore through the surrounding fleet. The Dominion's numbers were meaningless now. Chaos reigned. From the bridge of the Resolute, Kara watched the culmination of months of planning and courage. Humans had survived against overwhelming odds, outsmarted a technologically superior enemy, and turned a desperate situation into a decisive victory. The Dominion fleet attempted a retreat, battered and broken. Many ships were lost, others drifting powerless. Admiral Clear could only watch in disbelief as the humans emerged victorious once again. "Humans," he muttered, "they are incredible. We underestimated them." On the human bridge, Kara allowed herself a small smile. "They will remember this," she said softly. "Not just the power of our weapons, but the courage, the intelligence, and the determination of humanity. We do not yield. We do not surrender. We survive. We fight. And we win." The crew cheered quietly, knowing that this battle marked a turning point. Humans had demonstrated that no matter the enemy, no matter the numbers, their spirit and ingenuity could overcome the impossible. Vance approached Kara. "What now, Admiral?" he asked. "We move forward," she replied. "We rebuild, we prepare. The Dominion will return, they always do, but next time we will be ready. Humanity will never be defeated." As the Resolute left the battlefield, the stars seemed to shine brighter, reflecting the resolve of a species that refused to be conquered. Messages were transmitted across the galaxy. Humans are here. War has changed. Humanity will not be ignored. Far in the Dominion's retreating fleet, Whispers spread among the officers. Fear, respect, and a reluctant admiration for humanity began to take root. They had fought a species that did not obey conventional rules, that thrived on innovation and courage, that could turn desperation into triumph. Somewhere in the depths of space, Kara looked ahead. The galaxy was vast, full of unknown threats and endless challenges. But humanity had proven one thing: they were not weak, they were not passive, and they were not to be underestimated. The war was far from over, but the humans of the Resolute had made one truth clear. When humans fought, they fought to survive and to win. The void stretched ahead, endless and uncharted, but Admiral Kara Thorne and her crew sailed forward with unwavering resolve. Humanity had arrived, and the galaxy would never forget it.